Hey everyone, Reid Henrichs, Valor Ridge. What we're going to talk about in this video today is how lighting conditions can affect how you aim. Let's go ahead and get started. So folks, this is a well-known thing in rifle marksmanship. If you've been around and shot a decent amount, you notice that lighting conditions can affect how you see not only your sights, but how you have a sight picture on your target. And I wanted to do a video that illustrates that. What you're going to be looking at here is a series of targets. And you can see on these bullseyes, I shot these on different days, different lighting conditions. So my rifle is firmly zeroed. If you look at the middle left target and the middle target, you'll see that it's a pretty darn good zero. I mean, we're talking under 2 inches of a group with this rifle. And the rifle that I used is right here, this Colt government carbine with a pencil barrel. So old school LE trade-in. I got it for a really nice price and just was the right place, the right time to pick it up. And tried a couple of different loads of ammo through it. It liked some, it didn't like others. As you can see on the bottom bullseye, I used a 70 grain copper solid on there, and it liked that as well. But you know, the thing is, guys, is that pick which ammo is the most consistent. Most consistent was the ones that you see in the bullseyes out of this rifle. Now what you'll also notice here is if you look at the top bullseye, you'll notice that group not only a little bit bigger than the other ones, but it's also about an inch, inch and a half high. And the reason why that is because I shot that on a cloudy day, a very overcast, dark day. What happens is the old adage when we were shooting was lights up, sights up. So the light will bounce off of your front sight and it'll sheen it out a little bit, and so you won't know exactly where the tip of that front sight is, and so what'll happen is that you can miss your aiming reference or see something that's not there. And so what I wanted to show you is that different lighting conditions can affect that, even just a little. Now at 100 yards, not such a big deal. I mean, we're still talking ocular cavity shots, even if it is different lighting conditions. But I'm going to push out to 200 and 300 and even 400 and show you just how much of an impact that can have. And then I'm going to show you the remedy, so make sure you stay tuned and I'll show you exactly how we can remedy that. Now before we continue on, some of you guys may shoot red dots, and that's cool, or any other reticle like a magnified optic fixed or low power variable, and that's okay. Use what works best for you, but I can tell you that lighting conditions can affect those as well. For example, if it's a bright sunshiny day and you turn your dot up so that it's bright, you're not going to have as fine of an aiming reference as you would if it was maybe a cloudier day when your dot is a little bit more dim and you can get a little bit smaller of an aiming reference. So what I would do is I would go out and I would zero it, and maybe in that intermediate light conditions where it's a little bit cloudy, a little bit sunny, maybe a little hazy if you can. I know it's hard to find those days at the range, but be aware of how that lighting can affect your zero, and certainly your position can and your fundamentals, but lighting can for sure. So let's go on out to distance and I'll show you how this phenomenon can affect your aiming reference as well as your point of impact. So guys, here's a clear illustration of a point of impact, point of aim differential shot on different days. So I shot these on the days when it was a little bit cloudier, and you can see that it's hitting a little bit higher because my sights are good for a day like today. And then once the sun came back, then it went right back to where it was going. The whole time I was aiming right about here, so it's hitting right where the front sight is. But on that cloudy day, it all hit a little bit high. And as we go out further and further, you'll see the difference continue on in proportion to the distance that it is. So we're out here at 200 yards, so we're about double the distance of where I zeroed the rifle. So once again, guys, I'm aiming right here. And so what happens is that on a cloudy day, that's where my rounds are hitting. Regular sunshiny day, that's when they're hitting right here. And I even did this on different days just to verify that. So same big sunshiny conditions, same as yesterday, and that's what you'll get over here. Right there is where I was aiming, and it hits exactly where it did on the orange target. So nothing changed other than the lighting conditions. And you could see how when it was a cloudy day that my shots were a little bit higher than that. Let's go out to 3 and even 4. All right, so we're out here at 300 yards, and the phenomenon gets even more noticeable. But believe it or not, this is a couple shots right here. So this is on that cloudy day, hitting a little high as usual. Once again, go back to a sunny day, hitting exactly right where it needs to, just as normal. And guys, this just is going to keep going, and I'll even show you out at 400 that the difference is certainly noticeable out there. Guys, we're out here at 400 yards, near quarter mile where I shot this from. As you can see here, once again, guys, this would be the day where it's cloudy, it's hitting up a little more. This is a normal drop out here at 400 when a sunshiny day happens. As you can see,
you probably are able to see visually, it's about 1 MOA, you know, difference, maybe 1.5, depending on what's going on. And what that translates to is easily, you know, a little bit over 4 inches at 400 yards. And that's, you know, a little bit more, but 400 yards with iron sights, you know, you can have a little variance, but this is a clear illustration. Whether I shot 2, 3, 4 rounds, whether I shot a 10-round group, you would see this same thing happen. There'd be, you know, 4 up here and 4 down here. And you'd be able to see that illustration. So as I said, we'll show you a way to mitigate that. So if you're gonna shoot irons, guys, one thing that you wanna do, and this is what we used to do in the Marines, we would just get a lighter and we would hit it with the lighter, you know, hit that front sight post, hit your wings in that, and that'll help blacken out that front sight so it's a little bit clear aiming reference for you. And for you guys with red dots out there running any kind of reticle, you want to make sure that you don't turn it up too bright so that it blooms out, and there's a lot of variance in there. So lighting conditions can affect your shooting, can affect high aim. And how much it affects it can depend on how much error you have when you're zeroing your rifle, but it can also be how much error that you have from consistency shot to shot. But what really can happen, guys, is that your lighting, it can affect it by a few inches depending on how long that you're shooting. Now, you know, self-defense distances, you know, certainly that 100 50, 25 room distance is probably not going to affect it very much. I just wanted you to be aware of the small little things about shooting. And I cover a lot of this stuff in my rifleman book, and we cover a lot of the information in class as well. And we'd love to have you there. And if you haven't been out and trained with us, guys, you really want to jump on that and take that opportunity to come train, get some good modules, get some good shooter development going, and really learn how to develop yourself efficiently to become a complete rifleman. If you found the information in the video helpful, follow me on social media, links down below. Don't forget to subscribe to that channel as well. It helps us out. And if you really want to learn how to get better as a rifleman, coming out to Valor Ridge and we can help you. This is Reid Henrichs of Valor Ridge reminding you, the lessons that we learn are written on the tombstones of others. We'll see you on the ridge.